Hey bro, welcome back. There's something I've been pondering, and I got a feeling that I'm not the only one. Hard to explain, easy to hide, but real just the same. I think a lot of men feel it, even if we don't want to talk about it. It's that quiet ache, the low hum beneath the surface, that whisper that rises when the noise fades. There's gotta be more than this. We've got jobs, we've got routines, we show up, we provide, we fix things, we keep going. But something's missing. And the truth is, most of us don't even notice the ache until the noise dies down. It creeps in when the kids go to bed, when the emails stop, when the screen goes dark. That's when it whispers, not with judgment, but with honesty. This isn't the life I imagined. And it's not because life is all bad, but because somewhere along the way, you disappeared from it. We might smile in photos, we might show up for the boys, but we feel hollow in the quiet moments. And if you're honest, you don't just want to function. You want to feel alive. You want to come home to yourself. You want to be whole. Well, that's what today's about. Not fixing you, not judging you, certainly not handing you a checklist, but reminding you, you weren't made to live in pieces. You were made to live whole. Have you ever pulled into your driveway and for a second, you're not even sure how you got there? Your body drove the car, but your mind, well, that was elsewhere. You were physically there, but mentally in another place altogether. Chasing thoughts, dodging regrets, rehearsing arguments you've never had, and you missed the whole ride home. Or maybe it's at night. You lie in bed, you stare at the ceiling, your body begs for rest, but your mind, it's running a marathon. Every mistake, every to-do, every what-if, circling like vultures, just out of reach. You wake up more tired than when you fell asleep. You eat, but barely taste. You talk to your kids, but they feel miles away. You scroll on your phone for hours, still feel empty. That's what a fragmented life feels like. You're not broken, but you're not whole either. You're functioning, but you're not flourishing. You're moving, but you're not living. And we don't talk about this enough, because us men, we are masters of performance. We know how to stay in motion. We know how to keep that engine running, even when the wheels are wobbling. We've been taught to fix problems, but not to tend to pain. We've been taught to tough it out, but not to slow it down. So we live divided, physically present, emotionally guarded, mentally overwhelmed, and spiritually quiet. And after years of living that way, perhaps you've started believing that that's just how life is. But brother, I need you to hear me. That's not living. That's surviving. And you weren't created to survive your life. You were created to live it and feel it and walk in it, fully present, fully alive. So what does it mean to move from fragments to fullness? Well, let's walk through the 4 dimensions of who you are, not just to observe them, but to begin honoring them. Today, we'll simply touch on each one. Down the track, we'll dig deeper. So let's start with your body, the first home you were given. The one that's carried you through joy and through pain. The one you sometimes criticize in the mirror or ignore altogether. As men, we're taught to use our bodies, push them, maximize them, punish them when they don't perform. We lift heavy, we grind, we earn our rest. As Rocky Balboa would say, no pain. But if our bodies fail, we get frustrated, we shame them, we disconnect. But your body, it's not a machine, and it's not just a shell. Your body's sacred. It holds your stories, your victories, your injuries, your trauma, and your triumphs. That scar, it has a story. That ache, there's a reason. That tension, it came from somewhere. Wholeness in the body means treating it like it matters. It means being present in it, not escaping it. So start simple. Drink some water. Breathe deeply. Stretch. Rest without guilt. Move to feel better, not just look better. Maybe ask your body what it needs today and actually listen. And above all, stop waiting for it to be perfect before you show it some kindness. That body of yours, it's carried you through storms. It's worth your care. It's worth your presence. And it's worth your gratitude. Wholeness doesn't start in the mirror. It starts in the relationship you have with yourself. And your body, that's part of you. Let's go deeper, from the body we live in to the soul we've learnt to silence. Your soul, it's the part of you that feels, weeps, dreams, loves. It's the part that breaks when someone betrays you. The part that lights up when your child wraps their arms around you. The part that aches when you remember something or someone beautiful that you lost. But somewhere along the way, we learned to bury all that. We were taught to be logical, efficient, resilient. So we shut down the part of us that feels. And when life got hard, we didn't cry. We coped with busyness, with control, with numbing. But here's the thing. You can't shut off just one emotion. If you bury grief, you also bury joy. If you silence pain, you dull your ability to love. And the longer you run from your soul, the harder it is to recognize yourself. Wholeness in the soul means feeling again. Not emotionally dumping, but giving yourself permission to be human. I know how scary that is for some of us. It means grieving things you never gave yourself time to grieve. It means naming disappointments you've quietly carried. It means feeling joy without waiting for it to disappear. So start small. Sit with a memory. Write a letter to someone you never got to say goodbye to. Say the thing you've always been afraid to say, even if it's just in your journal. The world told you real men don't cry. But brother, I'll tell you this, real men feel, real men heal. And healing starts with honesty. Sometimes that honesty sounds like, I'm angry that my dad never showed up. I'm grieving the marriage I couldn't save. I'm tired of pretending I'm fine when I'm not. I miss my kids. You don't have to tell everyone, but you do need to tell someone. Maybe just you and God. Maybe a therapist. Maybe a friend. And maybe it starts with tears that surprise you. Tears that don't even have words yet. Just the release of holding it all in for far too long. Men clench their fists during counselling because letting go feels unsafe. Until it doesn't. My first counselling session, when I was at my lowest, at the end of it, I was literally dripping in sweat. Head to feet, socks soaked. It was the start of opening up, of awaking emotionally. The soul heals in the presence of safety, truth, and time. So be gentle, be honest, be willing to feel again. Now, from the deep well of emotion, let's move to the battlefield of thought. Your mind. That constant narrator. That voice in your head that never seems to take a day off. Your thoughts shape your world. They tell you what's possible, what's safe, and what's true. But here's the thing. Not every thought you think deserves your belief. Have you ever had one of those spiral days? You forget one thing at work and your mind goes, "You're an idiot. You always mess this up. You'll never get it right." Or you leave a conversation and your brain tells you, "They don't like you. You talk too much. They probably don't want you around." You know the chatter. And that's not truth. That's fear, disguised as logic. And we all carry it. Stories from childhood, beliefs passed down from wounded fathers, messages from a culture that says your worth is in your performance. But brother, wholeness in the mind means challenging those stories. When that voice in your head starts ranting, pause and ask yourself, is this true? Is this helpful? Would I say this to a close friend? You can't stop thoughts from coming, but you can choose which ones you plant. Feed your mind with truth, with wisdom, with silence, with scripture, with music that lifts you, with conversations that sharpen you. And if your mind has been a battlefield lately, don't fight alone. Some of the thoughts you're wrestling with, they didn't start with you. Maybe they were spoken over you. You're too much. You'll never be enough. Or maybe it was what wasn't said. The silence of a father who never knew you. The absence of a mother's love. But just because something was planted doesn't mean it has to stay. You can uproot lies. You can plant truth. And it will grow if you water it. That's what renewing your mind looks like. Not just managing anxiety, but replacing shame with grace. Hey, I'm learning. I'm healing. I'm not what happened to me. I'm becoming who I was always meant to be. That's the voice of a man stepping into wholeness. And now the part we often ignore. The part that whispers when everything else is quiet. Your spirit. It's a part of you that aches for meaning, that looks at the stars and knows deep down, there's more than this. The spirit asks questions the world can't answer. Why am I here? What happens after this? Is there a purpose to my pain? Is anyone listening when I pray? Some of us were raised in faith but drifted. Some never had the chance to see what a real relationship with God looks like. Some are tired of religion, and some dismiss it entirely, even with venom. Wherever you are, wholeness in the spirit begins with honesty. And the truth is, we're all hungry for something more. More than just survival. More than just success. More than just stuff. You don't need a degree in theology to pray. You don't need perfect words. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need some humility and a little bit of honesty. Try this. Step outside tonight, look up at the sky, breathe deep, and just whisper, God, if you're there, I'm listening. That's it. No performance, no checklist, just a moment of presence. Wholeness in the spirit is about connection. When your spirit wakes up, your whole life starts to shift. Even in sorrow, there's peace. Even in waiting, there's purpose. Even in confusion, there's light. There's this moment in the Bible that's breathtakingly insightful. Jesus is walking through a crowd, and everyone is pressing in on him, touching, pulling, trying to get close. And there's a woman there, a woman who's been bleeding for 12 years, not once a month, but continually. Physically unwell, emotionally isolated, and spiritually outcast. Here's what she does. She reaches out, quietly, desperately, and touches the edge of Jesus' robe. Instantly, she's healed. But here's what I love. Jesus doesn't just keep walking. He stops. He turns around. He sees her. And he doesn't just say, you've been healed. He says, go in peace. Your faith has made you whole. Not just healed, whole. That's what God wants for you too. Not just a patched up life, not just sin management, and not just surface level faith. Wholeness, a life where your body, soul, mind, and spirit are no longer at war. A life where you're seen, known, and restored. A life where God looks at you and says, son, come home. So here we are, brother. Body, soul, mind, and spirit. Not 4 separate compartments, but one whole man. Fully alive, fully present, fully you. If you've been running on autopilot, if you've been grinding through life without feeling much, if you've been wondering why nothing seems to satisfy anymore, this is your invitation. Come home. Not to some perfect version of yourself, not to a checklist of manhood, but to the man you already are, the man you were created to be. This journey, it's not about doing more. It's about coming back to yourself. Coming back to God, coming back to wholeness. The full picture of man isn't just flesh and thought. It's body, soul, mind, and spirit woven together in a mysterious and beautiful way. We may not be able to dissect a soul or scan a spirit on a machine, but our lived experiences, our moral compass, our spiritual hunger, and our capacity for love and connection, they all point to something more, something deeper than blood and bone, something higher than brainwaves and routines. And that something, that someone, he made you to live whole, not compartmentalized, not reduced to what you do or what you think, but alive in every part of who you are. Fully human, fully seen, fully loved. So let's start small. Body. Put your hand on your chest. Feel your breath. Give thanks for your body. It's still here, and so are you. Soul, let yourself feel something today. Let a tear come out if it needs to. Laugh out loud if it rises up. Don't filter it. Feel it. Mind, catch one lie, name it, and replace it. No, I'm not failing. I'm learning. And spirit, say a prayer. Go for a walk. Sit in silence for 5 minutes, not to perform, but to be. And brother, remember this. You are not too far gone. You are not too broken. And you are not too late. You are a man on a journey, and your wholeness, well, that's worth the work. Walk gently, live intentionally, and stay grounded in who you're becoming. Because you were made to be whole, and you are not alone. Wholeness doesn't mean you'll never struggle again. It means you don't have to walk through it alone. It means when life cracks you open, there's something deeper holding you together. So if you feel yourself drifting, just check in. Body, what's it asking for? Soul, what are you feeling deep down? Mind, what story are you believing today? And spirit, have you paused and prayed? And if that feels like too much, just start with a pause. Let grace meet you there. Because presence, that's where wholeness begins. Don't neglect or reject any part of your manhood. You were designed to be whole. I want to leave you with a thought. Everything we've talked about, becoming whole, living fully alive, it's hard to step into if you're still dragging chains from the past. And for a lot of us as men, those chains aren't from other people. They're from ourselves, from the man in the mirror, from the mistakes we can't seem to let go of. You can work on your purpose. You can get your body, mind, and spirit aligned. But if every time you look in the mirror, you still see the worst version of yourself, you'll never fully step into the man you were meant to be. That's why in the next episode, we're going to go there. We're going to talk about how to forgive that man, the one staring back at you. It's not to excuse him, and it's not to ignore what happened, but it's to set him free so that you can become free too. Episode 3, Forgiving the Man in the Mirror, might just be the turning point you've been waiting for. I'm Paul, and this is Paul on Purpose.